Hey everyone, and welcome. So today we're diving into a topic that's, well, it's part dream, part high-stakes game, buying property in absolutely beautiful Costa Rica.
I mean, come on. Who hasn't pictured it, right? Waking up to the sounds of the jungle, pristine beaches just a short walk away. It's this powerful, powerful dream. And for good reason. Costa Rica is without a doubt one of the most amazing places on the planet to own your own little slice of paradise.
Okay, but here's where we hit the brakes a little. That incredible dream, it can turn into an absolute nightmare, and fast if you're not careful. The gorgeous piece of land you walk through, well, it could be hiding some really serious, and I mean expensive secrets.
And look, the stakes are super high. This isn't just some theory. We're talking about a real U.S. buyer who was literally about to close the deal, only to find out the fenced-in area was 30% smaller than they thought. A drone survey saved this person $40,000. Just like that. That one piece of information shows you just how powerful it is to have the real picture.
All right, so let's get into it. Section 1 is all about what we'll call Costa Rica's property puzzle, the incredible appeal and, yeah, the hidden risks that come with it.
So here's the bottom line. Just walking the property, it's not nearly enough. See, the legal side of things in Costa Rica can get complicated. Land titles can be murky, and those old fence posts or markers, you just can't trust them. You could literally fall in love with a beautiful view that isn't even legally part of the land you're not to buy.
Okay, so that leads us perfectly into our next section, what lies beneath. We're going to talk about the limits of those traditional inspections and why what's under the surface is so incredibly important.
You know, a standard inspection just can't see this stuff. Like, is your neighbor's fence actually on your land? What about that little shed they built? Is there a hidden waterway that's going to turn into a river during the rainy season? And all that gorgeous jungle-covered land, how much of it is actually buildable? These are the kinds of questions that, if you don't have the answers, are going to cost you a fortune. Seriously.
But this is where modern tech comes in and changes everything. It gives us a totally new perspective, the drone's eye view.
And when you compare the old way to the new way, the difference is just night and day. You're going from something that takes days and is often unreliable to getting centimeter-accurate data in just a few hours. It's a total game changer. It takes all the guesswork and ambiguity and just replaces it with cold, hard facts.
So, how does this all work? Well, first you have what's called an orthomosaic map. The easiest way to think about it is like a super high-resolution Google Earth view of your specific property. But here's the key. It has survey-grade accuracy. So it's not just a pretty picture, it's a model you can actually measure. And then you have LiDAR. Now this is where the real magic happens. It's a technology that shoots laser pulses down to the ground, and it can actually see through the dense jungle canopy. It's literally mapping the bare earth underneath. This is how you find things like hidden ravines or see the real topography of the land that's been covered up by vegetation for decades. Okay, so the tech is cool, for sure. But what does it actually mean for your wallet? Let's dive into some real-world stories where this data saved people a ton of money. And what's really important to get is that this clarity helps everybody. Buyers don't make huge mistakes. Sellers can actually prove what their land is worth. And developers, they can plan things out with insane accuracy, which saves them a boatload of time and cash. All right, let's kick things off with a classic developer's dilemma. Picture this. A developer finds what looks like the perfect piece of land to build a big subdivision.
And we're talking about 6 figures on the line. I mean, $100,000, maybe more. So, what went down?
Okay, so this developer in the Central Valley, he's got a 20-lot subdivision all mapped out, ready to go. But then, a LiDAR scan shows a hidden ravine, a pretty big one, slicing right through 3 of his planned lots. Finding that before a single shovel hit the ground meant they could completely redesign the layout. And that one discovery saved him a 6-figure sum, no question.
Okay, let's flip the script. Now we're talking about a seller. This person has a prime beachfront lot in Nocera, but for some reason, it's just not selling. Buyers are kicking the tires, but they're all hesitant because they just don't know what's really possible on the property.
45 days. That's it. That's how fast the entire situation turned around.
See, the whole problem was just uncertainty. There's a protected maritime zone there, and nobody could say for sure how much of the land was actually buildable. So they got a drone survey. It created a crystal clear map showing the exact buildable footprint. All that doubt, gone. And boom, the property sold in just over a month. So you get the picture, right? The value is just massive. So for our last section, let's talk about how you can actually get this clear picture for yourself. This is your path to certainty.
And you know what's great? The whole process is incredibly simple. Seriously. You just contact DroneSurveyCR with your property info, you'll get a quote back, usually in about a day. Then you schedule the flight, which only takes about half a day, and in just 3 to 5 business days, you have everything, all the data, all the reports, ready to hand over to your lawyer. It's really that easy.
So, let's boil it all down. What's the big takeaway? In a market as beautiful but, let's be honest, as complex as Costa Rica's, a drone survey isn't some fancy add-on. It's absolutely essential. It's the due diligence you just can't afford to skip before you sign on the dotted line.
Yeah, think of it like this. It is the ultimate reality check for your investment. It's your insurance policy against making a huge, costly mistake. It lets you make a decision based on hard data, not just, a good feeling you got during the walkthrough. It gives you the power to buy with total confidence. And so that leaves us with one last really important question to ask yourself. Whether you're just starting to dream or you're already in the middle of a deal, do you know what you're really buying?